Hey, good morning, July 19th, 2024. Sam, good morning to you, buddy. How you doing? We have had a week, dude, we've had a month of news in 4 days, 5 days.
Yeah.
Since Saturday, right? A month, maybe 3 months of news. How you doing, buddy?
Good. You're right. When was the last time you remember having a week this politically charged with so much action?
Never. It's just spinning up like, it's like the spring's just getting tighter and tighter. I think now you're into total reaction. I mean, I'm predicting what the bloody thing's going to happen within the time period, which is like, I'm not overly intelligent, but like all you got to do is look at this and go, okay, they're left with only so many options. I mean, if you can get into game theory and understand the other guy's getting punched in the face over and over and over again. Every time he takes a punch, he slips and falls. Right. Like there's nothing the Democrats have done in the last, I would say, 6 months that has done anything to give them any traction whatsoever. None.
Talk to me about, do you think this week was the Black Swan event that you had been discussing? So I think for maybe the past 2 to 3 weeks, in a lot of our chats, you'd said something's got to happen. And we weren't exactly clear, but it was kind of hinted at like the assassination attempt was supposed to work, right? And you had said multiple times, they got to take this guy out. So you were proven spot on with that. Is this kind of what you were expecting when you thought we were going to have a moment like this?
Well, I didn't know what would happen, but it just seemed to me that before the RNC and before the DNC, which is what, in less than a month, they have to pick their players. And there's only so many things they can do within that time span. If you back out like you would on the ETF, right? We backed out, hey, the ETF's going to happen this day. You're going to have the SEC approve it, and then you'll have people start to buy Bitcoin. We kind of knew the time period, right? So if you look at this thing and you back into it and you go, okay, I'm the Democrats, I'm getting my ass kicked at every level. What do I do? I've been saying for a year, hey, these people will eat their own. Okay. This is what narcissistic psychopaths do. They eat each other when there's no longer a common enemy. They look for enemies. This is what they do. They eat things, man. They just like take. If you've been cheating for the last 8 years, that's all you know how to do, dude. This is my point about legacy players and monopolies. If you've only ever been an oligopoly or a monopoly, you can't compete. Like you don't even have a muscle to compete. You cheat. That's your process. Your entire business plan is to have regulatory approval to be a big monopoly and pay a bunch of fines and fees for shit you do wrong. Never stops you, right? So what do we have? Let's just do a review. Saturday, we had an assassination attempt that it appears the angels themselves. I mean, I think people are starting to get religion, dude, again. They're looking at that event. I mean, did you see the Mark Zuckerberg interview?
No,
Mark Zuckerberg just became a Donald Trump fucking fan, bro.
No way. What'd he say?
He's like, hey, look, how can you not have chills go up your spine when you see a man hit in the head with a bullet and he stands up and says, fight? I mean, I should post this thing. It's about a 45-second interview with some mainstream media lady, and he's got his curls, his billion-dollar curls, and he's like, dude, it's hard to not be impressed. I think people are really being converted here, dude, on a wholesale level. Like, I think what America wants today is they want a man running the office, dude. They want an alpha male running the office, finally, and somebody that has some honor. So your camera's little dishy there. So anyway, Saturday we had an assassination attempt. It appears to me that the government is supposed to protect our president, and those that run for office are like they're scrambling, trying to cover their ass. And we go into the Democratic, the RNC Monday, which I guess that was expected not to happen. Can you imagine it? What would be happening right now had he had his entire head cut up like a watermelon? I mean, they really wanted to watch that on film, right? Somebody wanted to watch his head blow up on camera. I mean, now we have stories about maybe 2 shooters. There's a lot of people going, hey, there's 2 shooters, dude. We're going to find out. You now know that, like, they know the ballistics, you know, the sound of a ballistics. They know what rounds. I kept saying, hey, I hear a 308 round going off relative to a 5.56 round. It's a very different sound. But we'll end up knowing all that, I think. Hopefully, if Trump gets in, he now has the clarity to actually say, hey, we need to explain what happened to JFK, RFK, and MLK. So this doesn't happen again. I keep saying, if you keep these skeletons in the closet, you will repeat this until the skeletons come out of the closet and the American citizen knows what happened in 1962, 63, 64. Dude, we're just going to have to show how criminal these people have been. If we don't, we will attempt to do Trump again before November. And I've been saying that, and I'm not trying to be right here. I hope I'm wrong. But I've been saying, as a game theory, if you're getting clocked that bad as an enemy, you know, if you think of this as a competition between red and blue, what else are they left with, man? They're in Panicville, dude. They cannot afford to lose this next 4 years because they lose 12. I think they lose 12 years. And the pendulum is swinging so fast right now. When you see Mark Zuckerberg in an interview that speaks extremely favorable of Donald Trump, we want alpha males, dude, and we need alpha males. Okay,
I have that article pulled up, by the way, if you want to share it.
Let's do it.
Is this what you're talking about? So Mark Zuckerberg says Trump's fist pump was one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life.
That's it. I mean, do we need any more than that? Okay. This is the guy that participated, not to get him. I do believe that all these social media sites participated with intelligence agencies to block Trump.
Well, that's not even you think, that's a fact.
Well, but you know, the funny thing is, dude, we're not talking about it. It comes out and then we just let it go. Imagine, well, look at what just happened to the, who owns the big newspaper? The South Korean lady was found to be an agent for South Korea.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Have you seen that? Washington Post, bro. Washington freaking Post. She's up on charges for spy.
Yeah, she was in the White House on the Security Council.
And I think married to some guy that's involved. But nonetheless, my point is, look, let's be clear. Meta tried to stop Trump with intelligence.
100%.
You guys got to wake up. Like, we cannot keep sitting here pretending like this is a little thing here. Okay. We have Google, we have Facebook, LinkedIn. I mean, all these groups are now we're seeing, like, this is a huge comment from Mark Zuckerberg to say on live air. You ought to see the video. It's impressive. Okay. The guy's visibly emotional, visibly excited. Now he's a big fighter now, right? A jiu-jitsu guy.
Yep.
So, you know, it makes sense to me that he would be like, hey, this is a champion, dude. Right? This is a guy that knows every move. I mean, you can't be a fighter like this and not admire a cat like this. I saw his whole family. Okay, so what did we do? We tried to shoot him. Yep. Then the RNC was I thought it was an outstanding presentation. I saw lots of his family members, not every one of them, but the majority of his family members, in particular his 17-year-old granddaughter. Impressive, dude. These people are impressive. They speak well. Say what you want about them, but they speak well. And
Yeah, they do.
I mean, I couldn't go to the RNC. I was invited to go, and I kind of wish I would have gone, but I just couldn't. But it looked like it's a lot of enthusiasm all in one room, dude, and it's not going away, right?
It was really cool because watching Trump speak, he at some point said, "You know, I'm not supposed to be here." And then the whole crowd just erupted and said, "Yes, you are." And they were chanting, "Yes, you are," for like a solid 30 seconds.
That's beautiful.
I was like,
see, that's puts chills up my spine, man. I think this is another JFK moment. Really do. We have an opportunity to go JFK on this and get America back, dude. But we have to go into the closet and understand what the fuck have we. Let's just unveil the truth. I'm ready for all the data. Who killed JFK, period. I kind of think I already know, so you're not going to surprise me. Let me know about the UFOs. Let me know about Iraq, Iran, weapons of mass destruction. I mean, just Epstein, dude. Roll it all out. Hollywood, P. Diddy. If Oprah Winfrey's a bad person, I want to know about it, okay? Tom Hanks. Let's just Disney. If Disney's poisoning our country, let's find out who the hell is doing this shit and stop it. And I think Trump will stop it if, and this gets me to the point of, we wake up this morning and have one of the biggest electronic disruptions in the history of the world.
Crazy.
That we know
Ports
of.
are closed. Ports are closed. Airports are closed.
Bro, there's people like stuck all over the place. Now I've been saying that my biggest concern right now is that we do not have an election on November the 5th. Because I know people think that's crazy, but how else would you stop this? How else would you stop Trump from coming into office? You stop the whole system, man. You just shut everything down. Don't let it happen. And then you're in no man's land. Then what? Right? You have a major war incident. You have I figured we'd have a little, EMP experience. So shit just couldn't work.
Walk me through this logic, because this is what makes me nervous. Supposedly Biden's stepping down this weekend. Who knows if that's true? He's stepping down from running for president, but he's going to remain president. One, what's weird is, how can you say you're mentally unfit to run for president and then still be president for 3-4 months? Doesn't that concern you?
Well,
how does that make sense?
None of this makes sense, dude.
And then what worries me,
we are in a space we've never been before as America. I don't think it's publicly. I think you have to assume that most everything that's happened in the 4 years was obtained illegally. Now, if it was obtained illegally, immorally, unethically, these people will do whatever they need to do, dude. Like, have you ever met a 8-year-old kid who stole something from a grocery store and they go into, no, I didn't? And somewhere in their mind, they lock into, I can never admit that I did this. And so they spend the next 50 years with a lie to their mom that they never undress.
Yeah.
And they just stick into it, right? Guess what they do? They keep stealing. They keep stealing because they didn't pay the price to say, hey, you know what? I stole. Let me give it back. Let me make it right. You got to at least show all the skeletons, dude. I think you have closets. I think closets full of skeletons bigger than Fort Knox, bro. Going back decades.
It makes me worried because
but it's an opportunity. Dude. It's a religious moment. Right. We do have a religious moment coming here. It's either going to go nuclear or we're going to get religion, maybe both. And by nuclear, I mean, get really, really, really bad. A depression's about the only thing that's going to level set this thing. I think we need an event. I hate to say that, but I just think you need an event to get the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world to go, hey, maybe I was wrong. But like, I need to be inspired by my leaders. I do not hear Mark Zuckerberg talking about being inspired by Joe Biden or Nancy Pelosi or Kamala, right? Really? None of these people do. You're not impressed with any of these people. It's embarrassing.
What is an event to you? So would Trump's assassination been an event, or does it, like, when you say event, does it have to be economic, like, or war? Like, what is this event, you think?
What would it be? An event could be a complete shutdown of the system, right? Just turn everything off, man. Shut it down. You see, I think the big risk is, if we think about it, we need to really shut the Gary Cardone voices of the world down. If we can shut the voices down, it's game over, man. This is the problem here. It's not Bitcoin. It's this decentralized flashlight. We have a billion flashlights, dude. We're shining everywhere, and they're big spotlights. They're 24/7. Anybody can use one. And all you got to do is copy and paste, copy it, retweet it, repost it, right? This is little tiny lights shining all in the cracks of a political system that's just turned toxic and criminal. I think you can say it's the entire political system at this point is turned almost criminal, man, if not criminal. I mean, look, the Dems are talking about raising $1 billion. Like, that's not a political race, dude. That's a money race, right? Like, somebody told me it would cost me $100 million to become a congressman. Fuck, I'm not becoming a congressman, dude, ever. Like, why would I do that? Okay. Yeah. If you do that, it's now you're just raising money from people and owing people favors. I mean, I can see where this goes. It's just, dude, I grew up in Louisiana. Okay, this shit's been going on in Louisiana forever, and will forever go in Louisiana. So for me, it's very normal to understand that when you give someone $1 million, you're probably going to owe them something. Yeah. Right. When somebody gives me $1 million, dude, I'm going to owe them at least to take a phone call, and then a favor. And then this is why I say AI may be the best government we have in the future, because you can't criminalize it. You can't buy it.
Yeah. Like, how do you get rid of a favor-based system? Right. You need a completely new system.
AI,
right?
Dude. You need no bias. No intervention. So what you need politics was designed behind the market, and the market was, hey, capitalism, let everybody take a vote. Their vote is, oh, they use their money to buy this company or this product from this company, that wins. And then, hey, I'm gonna vote for these people. Okay, but it's not like that anymore. There's no economic pressure. There's no transparency in politics anymore. There's no real open market. And that's the problem with politics. It's not an open market. And every time you see a problem in the economy, it's because there's not an open market. Every time, dude. The people that, people that are, let's say, poorer, or as you say, less advantaged than I am, understand this only gets worse for you. Like, I'm going to be fine. But for you, you're getting fucked, dude, because the political system is so massively different than our free market view. And it must be all the same. America is a free market environment. Okay, we're not the EU. There are 4 people in the EU that run the EU. I don't think anyone knows their name. You do not, no one on here, 500 people, can tell me the name of all 4 players. I don't even think you can Google it. Fucking Google it. I'll give you $100 if you give me the name of 4 people in the EU that run it. Now, unlike America, at least we know who they are. The problem is we have stopped asking for the same shit we expect from Wall Street, We have stopped asking for that from our politicians. Like, why wouldn't we have a quarterly report? President, Treasury Department comes on every quarter, every 90 days, speaks to the world. Dude, this is what I would be doing. Hey, we're having a quarterly meeting on our country, dude. Our country's GDP is moving. We are doing this, this, and this. We're bringing all these jobs back, blah, blah, blah. And then you start making every state report their earnings, who's positive, who's negative, who's got debt. If I'm Trump, dude, I place people in every government, dude. I go, hey, Gary Cardone's the auditor for Texas now, dude. The governor has to meet with this guy. He's oversight for the government. I don't know why we can't do this stuff. And if a governor is not willing for an auditor to come in and look at what they're doing, problem. Like, wow.
Yeah, big red flag.
We require public companies to do this all the time. Why aren't we requiring the state of California to show what the fuck they're doing with all the money that they don't have? They're spending it poorly. Look, it's just about markets and transparency, though. We're not independent. Politics is not independent. It does not look like markets. If I was a business and we were doing this as politics, I would literally never have an opportunity. They would have just pushed me out. Oh, you can't play. Right? So to me, this is a really good analogy to use. Why is politics so different than the way we look at our markets and free commerce and free everything? Freedom of speech, freedom to compete, right? And openly. And this is no longer the Democrats, the Republicans, the whole game that's being played is not open, transparent, and consistent with a free marketplace. Furthermore, what do we see just like now? This morning, we wake up to the biggest cyber attack. You can say it's not an attack. It effectuates the same problems, though, right? We're starting to look like a third world nation, dude, at every level, right? Bridges are falling down. The ships that navigate the rivers seem to all be losing their computer systems. What do you want to bet? There's been at least 15 cyber attacks this year on boats, and that's why they're running into bridges, and no one's telling us the truth. We've irritated every country on the planet, dude. Half of them are our allies. By the way, I'm still waiting for those 4 names from the Euro. See, the audience should be looking at this going, wow, I don't know the 4 names of the people that run the European Union, dude. Like, that is staggering to me. Guess what they are? Our biggest ally. Okay?
Yeah.
Europe is the size of America, dude. Oh, by the way, the UK has riots in 3 cities right now. Leeds is burning, dude. Okay? People are pissed off. I don't think this is just a U.S. thing, dude. People are pissed off around the planet. So my prediction is, and it's quite interesting to me that Bitcoin and Bitcoin didn't get impacted by any of this cyber shit.
Isn't that great? Isn't that a bullish sign?
24/7. Okay, it's up $3,000. The entire market got fucking hammered, and Bitcoin was like all crypto.
Bitcoin was like, what outage? Well, who's Microsoft?
Well, we'll show you what an outage looks like. This is Bitcoin going up $3,000. And funny enough, price goes up this much. Nobody really talks about it. Right? Price goes down $3,000. Everybody freaks out. Mm-hmm. If you think this is all coincidental, I've got a bridge to sell you. I got a bridge to sell you in Nevada, man. Because like, I don't believe in coincidences. The CIA doesn't believe in coincidences. The NSA doesn't believe in them. The U.S. military doesn't believe in coincidences. This is no coincidence. And my prediction is we will have another incident. Biden will be dead or retire, walk away from this within, well, he probably won't be dead.
Well, what do you think? What do you think happens between now and the DNC?
Well, listen, to your question, your question is really good. Hey, if he's going to drop, which he hasn't said he's going to drop, why is he even staying in now? if he's not qualified. Look, he has no decision in this, in my opinion. It's not like he's making the decision. They're probably all freaking out. Who wants to take this job, dude? Like Gavin Newsom's going to get slaughtered in front of Trump. Kamala Harris will get slaughtered by Vance, not much less Trump. So who are they going to put? Who are they going to put in here? You know who they want? They want Obama or Hillary back in. In order for them to get that, dude, there has to be an event like a meltdown of colossal proportions. Just a lockdown. Like we go into like martial law, bro.
It's weird to me because I was always under the impression that Obama and Hillary were already controlling Biden. So why would they get rid of him now? Like, what does that signaling tell you?
Well, I think at this point it's pretty embarrassing. Like they're losing their credibility, right? I mean, you can only push this agenda so long, dude. Like the Zuckerberg thing's a big deal. In fact, let me show you this, okay? This is actually, I want to show you the video if I can find it here real quick, because it's really fast. Here it is. Let's see, how do I do this? Hopefully they'll be able to hear this.
The sound should work. You'll share your screen, and then you'll click on the tab that you have the video on. And then if you play it, they should be able to hear it. Not through your microphone, but just through StreamYard.
Yeah, let's see it.
Full screen it.
Shot in the face.
Oh, sorry.
Donald Trump get up.
Can you see it?
Yes.
You can see Zuckerberg's face?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Seeing Donald Trump get up after getting shot in the face and pump his fist in the air with the American flag is one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life. But look, I mean, it's
Hold on, there's an echo, Gary. Do you have it playing over your computer speakers?
Hard to not get kind of emotional about that spirit and that fight. And I think that's why a lot of people like the guy.
Dude, short and sweet, right? But I mean,
seeing Trump get after getting
like
shot in the face,
for him to get that jacked
pump
up,
his fist in the air
I
with the
think
American flag is.
I think it's impressive, right? And you can't believe he's the only guy doing that. You can't believe, right? You cannot believe that he's not the only guy going. Oof. And it was impressive.
A huge Democratic donor.
Huge. So good for him. He's not my favorite guy in the world. I've been very critical of him. But Mark, I want to just say, well done on stating the obvious and being honest about, wow, that was impressive. I do think that's the kind of champions that we need in the next 10 years to right this country. Otherwise, we are going to be flushed down the toilet, be non-competitive, less innovative, less jobs. We will go into a massive depression, dude. I actually think we're probably going to go into depression with Trump. And I would rather have the depression with Trump than the depression with these idiots. These people are not only criminal, dude, they're idiots, okay? This is the real problem. They're not even very smart. They're just narcissistic psychopaths. I've known two people like this in my life. And let me tell you something, dude. They are staggeringly difficult to manage because they will go to links that make no sense to you and I. Like you and I are sitting there going, well, it would make no sense to drop a nuke. Who would ever say that? That would be smart, right? Nobody, dude. There are people that go, there is nothing I'm not willing to do to stay in control. Right? Control of, like, all we have to do is go back in history. Right? Like, pick an era, man.
Yeah.
1600.
I think that's the right mindset.
How many people have been totally? You have to just be honest with this. This has been going on for centuries with people who are in power. They're sick. Okay. Once you get this much power, you get really psychotic. And even to want this kind of power, dude. Like, you've wanted me to go to politics since you've known me. I'm like, nah, dude. It's what's the word for it? It's like you're walking into a disease. Like it would be hard not to get sick.
Yeah.
And right, because you're just around. So it's a little bit like the saying, hey, if you go to a whorehouse long enough, dude, you're gonna get laid. Sooner or later, you're gonna get laid in a whorehouse. Okay, all these single married guys. Yeah, I go to strip clubs, but I'm not cheating on my wife. And like, you didn't cheat yesterday. Sooner or later, dude. Right. So I just think this is like, we have evil people running the office. And I think we've had evil people. I'm going to say something that may get me banned here. I think we've had evil people running the office since I was a little boy, 7 years old, if not before, dude. And that to me is what needs to happen. I have never improved my life condition if I didn't do my inventory and share with people what I did wrong. If I'm going down the wrong road, at some point I have to go, I made a mistake here. I went down the wrong road. I picked that girl, or I went into business with that guy, and I cut a couple of corners, and I was just trying to do an expedite. Yes. Elon Musk what his biggest mistake was. He would tell you every time, "Oh, I got involved with the wrong guy." Way back on Tesla. Hey, I got involved. His first Tesla partner, he said, "Dude, that guy really cost me a lot of money and time and energy." And he admits that he was trying to solve something, and that's what his own internal problem, and that's why he picked that guy. So until you admit these mistakes, I don't think you fix them. And what's the saying? Power corrupts.
Oh, absolute power.
Yeah,
power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
Yeah. And most people never really think about, hey, what does absolute power mean? Dude, absolute power means, hey, we're going to shoot the president.
Yeah.
Absolute power means, I'm Nancy Pelosi, and I'm going to buy $20 million worth of call options that are going to be worth $100 million because I have the inside track. Her husband went to jail for fucking DUI, dude. And nothing happened. Right? So that's absolute power. When you escape killing people and Hunter Biden, like, why would Hunter ever behave himself? He's never had to behave himself. He doesn't even know how to behave himself.
No, he doesn't.
Okay. No one's that kid literally would be in jail right now if he was my kid. And I was president of the United States, that you would never, ever have heard from Hunter Biden. He would be sitting in a little fucking rehab center or a jail cell, dude. Totally clean. And he'd shut up for 4 years. I'm not going to let my kid destroy my entire lineage, man, and be totally compromised. The only thing that makes sense is that Biden himself is so massively compromised. Right? That you would never let a child do this, dude. Never. I mean, Joe Kennedy Sr., as the story goes, had a kid who was not a very good IQ, and he fucking stuck her in a sanitarium. He's like, look, we can't have this as part of our. So I'm not saying that's right, okay, but I think in the next 2 months, we're going to have an event that is staggeringly large. It terrifies me, actually. And it irritates me because I think I'm really right. And two, I have no idea how to hedge against it. I'm hoping my Bitcoin hedge is a hedge, but I'm scared. And I've said this to you since you've known me. My only fear about my massively concentrated Bitcoin position is this world around us. Like, I think they're going to do something stupid, man. And it's really sad. And it's it makes me feel a little powerless. Like, hey, I don't really know what to do. And I usually do kind of know what direction to take. And I would hope that, and one of the reasons I'm doing this is I would hope that more people would just start asking really logical questions. Like, when was the last time we heard any truth? When was the last time we actually had any statistics that we believed in, like the CPI number, any of these numbers, man? This is not a complicated thing to change. I really hope Trump stays away from too many professional politicians and really like looks at approaching the way we communicate about our country differently than we've been doing it, which is either change all the public companies and don't make them quarterly report, or we start behaving more like that. Some transparent, honest, auditable. This is where Bitcoin's going to really play a role, I think. Well, just like today, right? People will begin to notice the difference between Bitcoin and everything else. Bitcoin did not shut down today. That's a big deal, dude.
Yeah.
It was totally unimpacted. I could have bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin today. I could have sold $1 billion worth of Bitcoin today. No problemo. And settled. By the way, perfectly settled. So this is why I'm getting so involved. I'm concerned. Everybody should be concerned. Everybody should vote for sure. And if you're a Democrat, I would actually, instead of bitching about what we're doing, I would actually, Brian and Ed Cranston, whoever the fuck you punks are, you guys might want to actually go to work for the Bidens instead of just sitting there chirping, getting your $20 super chats or whatever you're getting, and actually go to work in the administration and do something instead of just being a chitter chatter box about it. But I'm pretty sure that you don't really have any skills to go do anything to help the government. But we for sure need some really smart people to go and work in the government. The guys we have working in the government right now are not qualified. Now, how do I know that? Just look at the stats, man. The stats alone, okay? Like, they're bad. California, horrible, right? You're broke. There
Really
anything,
broke.
is there
Really
anything going on in California that you could brag about? Nothing, dude, except the weather. Okay.
Yep.
I meant to go somewhere else and I forgot. What do you think would happen? I mean, if you're the Democrats and you're in total panic here, what do you do to here it is, we're a month away from the DNC. What do you do, dude?
At this point, I don't know, because I would have told you I would have just kept running Biden and kept them out of the camera. So that's why I really don't understand what they're doing right now and why they're kind of having all this infighting. Something's up there. And so that's what confuses me right now. Is I was under the impression, and kind of still am, we all know Biden's a puppet. Why are they trying to get rid of the puppet? Do they really think that someone else is going to pull better? Him stepping down from running, but still being president looks bad. Whoever they're going to run at the convention, having a chaotic convention looks bad. We have 3 months, roughly to the election. So to be honest with you, Gary, I'm very lost, because strategically they got to have something that I don't, because this is not what I would do at all, what they are doing. I would have kept running Biden. I just would have kept them off camera. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what those power dynamics behind the scenes were, because I don't get Obama trying to vie for influence, because Obama already had influence through Biden. And I would assume the same for Hillary Clinton. So that's why I'm a little lost.
I think the only thing that makes sense in that you're lost is that they are vampires and they're eating their own, dude.
Correct.
See, these people, these psychopaths, when they run up against a guy like me, like I've had 2 experiences with these people. there's not a lot they can do with a guy like me. Like what they do is they try to destroy your reputation. But one thing I know about them, they never stop. They just never know when to stop pushing, because for them, there is no line. There is no right or wrong. The right is they have decided they are absolutely essential for being in control. They don't even understand anything else. They think they're smarter and more knowing than you. Like literally, they think they are superior to you at every level. There's nothing you have to add value to these people. Unlike me, I'm constantly searching for people that, hey, shit, I don't know anything, man. It's actually probably, I probably do it too much, questioning myself. These people never question themselves. And so my strategy with them all the time, which I think is what we've done to the Bidens, is we just let the line go. If you're fishing really big fish, sometimes if you can't bring them in, what you do is you just let them take more line, hundreds and hundreds of yards of line out, sitting in salt water. Sooner or later, that fish becomes so tired. Okay. He's just pushing. You just deplete them. And so I don't know what they're going to do. I think they have so much line. But one thing they don't have is any more time. Dude,
Correct.
They thought this cat was going to be dead, dude. Okay,
they thought way this out of time.
Dude, way out of time. Okay, this is why I was saying, okay, when is the DNC? When is the DNC? Oh, it's the 16th. Okay, that means that that's 4 weekends. That means they really have about 10 days. Something has to happen in the next 6 to 7, 10 days, dude. Something. If we can get past November without an event, we might be good. Now, in the meantime, let me show you this. Let me present.
And we're coming up at the 45-minute mark, by the way, Gary.
Yeah, thank you. Stop screen. Okay, I did that. Okay, let's see if I can show you. Excuse me. In the meantime, look at Monster Bitcoin, dude. Beast. Now, what does that tell you? The whole market was shut down, dude. This is by the way, this is a 1 hour chart. Okay. I mean, this thing is rocking, dude. Up $3,000. Stock market's not up. Like, to me, this is very powerful. Okay. Extremely powerful news. We now have somebody in the chat was talking about the reserve. At 6 a.m., Bitcoin's price was $63,733. Right now, it's $66,400. Okay, so everybody bitches about when Bitcoin moves $3,000 or $4,000 on the downside. It's a $3,000 move up here. Okay, I don't know what people are get all nervous for. Bitcoin is working, man. I mean, look at this. Solana, $173. The market's moving. Ethereum's up 2%. I don't know if you can see all these. Let me know, because I'm
I'm looking at them on your screen right now.
We got iron up. Look at this, dude. Okay, the miner up 10% today. Wolf up 7.4%. Cypher up 5%. I mean, I could just go on and on, dude. Core Clean Spark up 3%. Core's up 0.2%. MicroStrategy up 11%. Coinbase has had a monster rally this week. Started here on Friday last week at 218. Now it's at 256.
Wow.
Yeah. While the rest of the market's down, Nvidia's down 2%. I mean, look at this chart. These charts are They just break out, right? Like gappy right here. ADA, this is another material, ADM. Well, no, this is Cardano, sorry, ADM. I don't have ADM, but ADA's up. I'm not a follower of Cardano, but I'm sure everything's going to move right now. So it's interesting to me that somebody that studied politics as long as you're confused as I am. Excuse me.
But yeah, you can only feed off the rumor mill. You can only feed off the rumor mill. And I can guess, but there's some power struggle that is at play. But I just don't know who's at war with who. I can't identify who the parties are. I can guess, but I don't know.
Yeah. You want to go through some of these comments, and then I think what we'll do is we'll just shut this down at 1 because I've got another thing I'm doing with Giovanni on the power law at 1:30. I know that Simon Dixon's doing a show right now on YouTube. I love Simon. Simon and I are talking about doing something together. You guys, when we finish this, you want to pop over to his show if you're not watching it. Let's go through some of these comments real quick, though, Sam. See, Smedley, good to have you here. Ad tech of a market, don't miss the opportunity. Got it. We're going to be privately held, potentially IPO in 8 years. Okay. Looks like he might be just talking about his business a little bit. Matthew Sherwood, thanks for sharing. Thank you so much. One of our good friends here, Crypto Bad Fox, after an extended period of monitoring, we've determined the issue is mitigated and all previous impacted Microsoft 365 apps. It'll happen again, right? It'll happen again, dude. It's Cardone, get out of real estate, got 10 patents. We're filing and projected price. Okay. I think you might be talking about the wrong real estate guy, buddy. I'm not a big real estate guy. I'm a digital Cardone. What ain't got any other comments here? Big Chief. Big Chief follows around. My team is working solutions for the problem. Dogecoin Arcade, best tech guy to talk to. My team is 100% volunteer. Let's see. Windows. What's Thoreau says Windows shut down healthcare flight. Does anybody know if the airlines have fixed their issues or is they still stalled out?
I don't think so. Last I saw before we came on this live, they were telling people, hey, all flights are canceled today.
I think even the media is behind. No, Prototype. I don't think mainstream media is behind them. No, not yet, dude. Now I will tell you that if he comes in office, I think mainstream media is dead, dude. Like it's gonna the networks are gonna save a lot of money because they're not gonna need any of these $8 million people like Anderson Cooper. Let's see. Hey, Martin Seeger. You see any comments in here that we need to acknowledge or?
No, I just
Ape.
Sweet. Just Ape gave us $2 at Trump 2024. Appreciate
Thanks,
that,
Ape. Ape, that's going to go. That's going to help me with an announcement that you'll hear about on Monday or Tuesday. So appreciate it. We will be making an announcement. I think Monday. Sam and I that should get people excited. I think it's pretty good news. Tell you a little bit about me anyway and what I believe in. Let's see what else we got. Any other news that we're going to probably close up here in 5 or 10 minutes. If anybody's got any questions, comments. Appreciate all the support. I'm just going through all these comments right now. Yeah, exactly, John Paul. We need worldwide respect. See, that should be one of our mission statements. Like this country needs a whole new mission statement. Who are we? Let's review our Constitution. Do we believe in it or not? Let's review our Bill of Rights. Every school should have third grade, dude. They should be going through the Constitution, Bill of Rights. I still want to do this with you, okay? Because like I'm admitting to you, I could not tell you what every Bill of Rights is, dude. Okay, I'm a what's the word for it? A dilettante American. Okay, dilettante means you can kind of talk about shit, but it's all very surface, no depth. And I think we have 200 million Americans, dude, if not 230 million Americans that don't really know what we stand for, because we don't review it every week. You know, you go into a church, dude, every week, and they review what your philosophy is. But we don't know what our philosophy is anymore. So I'm hoping Trump does all of that, man. You know, team meetings, right? Why wouldn't we have a nation meeting? Like a real nation meeting, though, right? Like a real nation meeting, man. We're all on the same page here. We're all on the same team. It does not seem to be that complicated. If you remove the evilness of it, I think everything gets. But I do think it comes back down to this power shit, dude. Anybody that wants a job like this, gonna be a little weird, you know. I mean, really, I would never want that kind of job, dude. You know me well enough now. You're like, oh, Gary would never do that. I don't care how much money it would. I just couldn't swallow it every day. So now we need people that do this. I'm not saying they're all evil. We do. I don't think you're evil right now. Whether you could be roped in one day. See, my problem with politics is I just don't know anybody that's clean enough that doesn't get compromised. If you're this is my problem with long-term politics. If you came to me, let's say I'm senator. I have 2 children. One of them hangs out with a 19-year-old kid one day, gets a speeding ticket, goes to jail, gets arrested. They find a little dope in the car or something. My kid gets hammered. Hey, Gary, like we got your kid, it's 2 a.m., 3 grams of cocaine, you know, and we could make this go away. Okay, she's getting ready to go to college tomorrow, right? So that's not going to happen. I mean,
yeah,
you know, kid kills a kid in a motorcycle accident. I mean, shit happens, dude. And I just think that if you're a professional politician, after 4 to 8 years, I mean, something has had to happen in your life that you become compromised. I mean, you know, somebody calls me up, hey, we have your sister and we're going to kill your sister unless you do something. What am I going to do, man? Now, one of my sisters, no, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just think that it's very difficult, especially when you have a family like the Bidens, who like it's not like hard to go find some smoke.
The dirt. Everyone knows the dirt. At that point, can they really hold it over your head if everybody already knows?
Well, if you bring it out of the closet, nobody can hold it over you. This is the power of being transparent. I think this is what we're doing right now. The flashlights are coming out, right? TW says, drinks in Nashville. Let's make it happen. Awesome. Going to Nashville Wednesday through Saturday. I think it's going to be the best Bitcoin show ever. It will be the best value. The amount of energy on this show. We're taking a crew of people from Tampa. I don't know if we've got all our seats done yet, Sam, but we're taking about 12 people on the plane. That'll be a lot of fun. Let's see. We got Jeff Hughes says, take the lead, Gary. You're a good communicator. Thank you very much. Love hearing what I do well. I actually do better. Hey, tell me what I do good. The negative commentary on me looking bad or tired or whatever, that doesn't really help me. I'm not going to go do the makeup and everything. I'm just a guy. But love the positive, and I'm really open for criticism. Just not, hey, I'm 66 and the guy looks like he's 66. Well, fucking thanks, man. A1, what was there any positions needed with Gary and Sam team? Lots of love for work. Yeah, we have needs, but I'll tell you that our needs are to find people that want to learn something. And everybody that walks in here, I think maybe because they think I'm rich, everybody wants to make 150 grand. if you don't know anything, I'm not paying you 150 grand. Okay. You're actually lucky to learn. So I'm looking for mentorees, people that want to come in here, and after a year or two, they're like, oh my God, dude, I learned everything I need to know to navigate a successful life. That's the guy I'm looking for. It's not interested in the money. He's interested in the education. Quite frankly, it's a tremendous amount of work for me to do this. And I only do like 4 to 6 people. Like I can't do, you can go to your master classes all you want, man. I'm not doing master classes. I'm doing 2 or 3, 4 people, typically businesses. And those people, you know, they want to actually make changes that are relevant in a very short order of time and not have a consultant give them a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Sam, why don't we start closing up? Any other closing comments other than we are in probably the most weird political global scenario that I could possibly imagine, and I'm just expecting another shoe to drop, dude. Am I being too negative?
No, I think you're actually being very realistic, and I'm expecting some of the same. I think they have to double down. But guys, if you're watching this, make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. Gary, you're going on Twitter for a Twitter Space Saturday, July 20th at what time? 11 a.m.?
Yeah, I think 11 a.m. I'm doing it with Hit Slap again. And
What's
the conversation,
topic?
Yeah, the conversation or the topic is on, and it's relative to right now, is I think we're going through massive step change in the way we do everything. This politics is one example, but I mean, the world is in a lot of shifting, chaotic change. When that happens, people who've been around 20, 30, 40 years, they actually are the most exposed. And we've done one show on IQ, we've done another show on EQ, and we've done the show last week on, it was on IQ, Original thought. Do we have actually, does anybody ever invent a new idea? And then I started thinking, okay, IQ, EQ, original thought. All the money I've ever made in my life has been from the pivot, from me going into a business and then looking around going, hey, you know what? I really missed it. I need to be right here, not here. I need to be right here. It's just a little pivot. Some investment bankers hate this word, but I love the word. It's a pivot. It's an alteration of your original goal. You know, there was a general in Germany, one of the greatest strategic generals ever, and he said, every plan at first contact with the enemy becomes unraveled. Every plan at first contact with the enemy fails. This is the Mike Tyson, hey, you know, you're cool, you're Superman until you get hit in the face, right?
Yeah.
But this really came from a very leading strategic general in Germany. Can't remember his name, probably can't pronounce it. And every business I've ever started or built or been involved in building, we'd go on and then we noticed, oh, wow, we just need to move 3 degrees. This isn't working right here, but if we just move 3 degrees, all my money, dude, every penny I've ever made has been off of a prior mistake or a loss, and I had to recalculate. And I'm asking Saturday, we're going to spend 2 or 3 hours. This is an awesome show for families, okay? If you're 18 or 80 and you're trying to figure out, hey, what do I do with my life? I'm asking the question, does EQ, if it even exists, and does IQ have any relationship with the ability for somebody like me to make these decisions, to pivot really, really, really hard? Like, and when I say pivot, dude, I mean like, oh, wow, we're in merchant processing in January. By April, we don't do any of that anymore, and we're doing something else in the value chain. Okay. Or, oh, wow, I'm a Bitcoin holder, and now I'm doing mining, right? Now, that wouldn't be my strategy because it would be a mistake, but okay, here's another pivot. Michael Saylor's pivot in his business. Massive pivotal change. He realized, dude, I'm grinding against the wrong thing. I'm going to lose here. And he makes this massive pivot, going to make a shitload of money. The question is, are you prepared to make a pivot? Can you execute a pivot? Can you understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and when you're doing it? And how does your like base understanding of the world and your own emotional response and IQ play a role in you being able to pivot? Most large entities can't pivot. Most entities, this would be the Democrats, they get so locked in on their messaging, they can't pivot. I see people like my twin brother in legacy finance. He can't pivot into Bitcoin because he's like, there's something I don't understand. Yeah, exactly. Once he fully understands it, though, he'll be like, oh, shit, I need to pivot, right? He's just being held on to some gravity. So this gravity, even in your mission statement, it holds you up. So Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, be a really good show. It's a very much, would you agree? It's a much more diverse group of people than that show up
and
here.
It's really fun intellectual conversation because it really everyone who comes up, it's very entertaining. It's very entertaining on an educational level. Yeah.
And the guy that I do this with, guys, is a guy named Hip Slap One on Spaces. He studies the subject every year. He and I make we're a good pair actually for that show. So 11 a.m. on Spaces. Hope you're there, Sam. I want your input on it. And if
how you want to end the show, Gary?
Pardon? How
you want to end the show?
Well, I'm going to end the show with two things. Anything that pops up over this weekend, which more likely that it will, we'll probably go live. Two, you have an assignment today, and the assignment is to do something really, really nice for somebody. Can be a little tiny thing, can be a big thing. Give you an idea. Help an old lady out of the grocery store. Put her groceries in her car for her. And say thank you. Oh, she's going to thank you. No, ma'am. Thank you for letting me help you. See, when I'm of service to someone, I actually feel good. And I should be thanking someone to allow me to help them. The other thing I need to do is allow other people to help me. Like sometimes it's cool for me to ask for help. I raise my hand, hey, I need some help. And people that ask me for help, it's a compliment. And it tells me the other person wants to improve. So the only way I'm gonna actually make other people more valuable to themselves if I'm willing to accept some help from them. Right. So it's okay. Like sometimes the thing you can do really nice for someone is to ask them, hey, can you give me some positive input about myself? Or anything. You could do this with your daughters, okay? Or your sons or whoever, but just be nice to somebody. You can't tell anybody. Top secret. And that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'll do it to a stranger today, okay? So thank you, everyone. Sam, what are you going to do today?
In general or nice for somebody?
Were you just going to go to the beach and hang out?
No, I don't got time for that. I don't got time for that.
All right, buddy.
All right, everybody. We'll see you soon. We'll see you next week.
Thanks so much, guys. Ciao. Now, I'm going to end this stream first. What would happen if I